You were flying something like 75 aircraft before COVID struck you. And domestically, at that time, you have the third largest turnover of something like 12,000 crores, 14 million passengers, employees that were something like 12,000 people. When COVID struck you, what was the impact it had? And then how did you begin to turn it around? I mean, this must have been devastating at that particular point. Can you narrate in a personal manner what it, go through that period?
Aviation was one of those spaces which just shut down, completely shut down. We were just told one fine day in March that it's not like we had to reduce flights or take some precautionary measures. We were just told that on this day you stop flying. In aviation, that's a big problem because we have planes that we have taken on lease and we have to keep paying for them irrespective of what happens, whether you're flying them, you're not flying them. You have so many people that, we had at that time 12 or 13,000 people. What do you do with them? What does it mean when you say just shut down? What happens to all the infrastructure that you've got and how does one pay for it?
Do you remember that particular day when that...
I remember that day. It was the government of India asked us in for a meeting, all of us, and said, look, we have no option but to just... We've been told that we need to shut shop. So it's a devastating blow. What really do you do? And, from our perspective, we just had to move quickly because this was the end of March. And we had to pay salaries at the end of that month. And we were trying to figure out what happens when we don't fly that 10 days. How will we have the money to actually pay the salaries? And what happens to all the people who are dependent on us? So we had to start moving really, really quickly. We just decided that there was little point in just sitting around and just moping about what had befallen us and what the government might or might not do to help. And at that point, of course, the government had other priorities and said, look, we can't really do very much. From our perspective, we said, look, we have the planes. We can't fly passengers anymore, but is there something else that we can fly? And we realized that cargo was one of those things that we could actually use the planes for because there were no trucks, there were no trains, there was no surface movement of cargo. And so we said, nobody's stopping us from flying the plane. It's just that we can't put passengers in the plane. So we started using the planes to fly cargo. We first put cargo on the seats of the aircraft and we said, let's fly it like this. And then we said, okay, why can't we just take out the seats? And then there was this whole process of, can it be certified when you take out the seats and what happens to the plane? And we worked around those issues. We took out seats from a large number of planes and we started flying stuff for COVID. Initially, the government of India needed medicines. They needed equipment from places like China. Even a PPE suit. We didn't know in this country what a PPE suit was. So the government said to us, can you please fly a plane to China, get us a PPE suit.
Shanghai.
From Shanghai.
Right.
And when it comes here, since we want to replicate it, can you please fly it to Coimbatore? Because we have no other way to send it to Coimbatore.
Wow.
And we had this one aircraft, I remember, that just flew that one PPE suit. There was nothing in that plane but that one PPE suit. And we flew it to Coimbatore so that it could be replicated. Same stuff, we were approached by shrimp farmers. And they said, look, what the hell, we have this entire community of people who are dependent on these, our products getting to market. This whole community will disappear if there is no way to do it. And we said, look, what the hell, we've never transported shrimp eggs. Yeah, but we found a way to do it. So we transported the eggs and, you should see the wonderful stories that they tell about us now. Same for just so many commodities that needed to go from one place to the other. We took some wide-body aircraft. We realized that around the world, aircraft had come to a grinding halt, and they were doing nothing, and we could get them for next to free. So we said, okay, let's get these big, huge planes. And now, instead of just flying around the country, we can also fly to the Middle East on these planes. Remember that the Middle East is dependent on countries like India for food and vegetables and flowers and things like that. And so we just repurposed. thought was that, look, in this horrible adversity that we have, what are the opportunities we can find? And can we somehow stay alive? And the new business that we did actually helped us keep going and helped us pay salaries. We didn't sack a single person from SpiceJet. We said, look, there is no place. We said there is absolutely no place. If we sack them, they'll be out on the road because there is no other job for them to get anywhere in the country. And we said, fine, we'll manage with whatever we have, but we won't sack anybody. So the earnings that we were getting from the cargo business, we essentially paid to our employees. We said the guys who are at the lowest rung, they are at subsistence. We will keep paying them their entire salary. We will not do salary cuts. At the top level, we will do 100%. Like for me, I was on zero salary. My immediate reportees were on zero salary. And then we had a gradation of salary cuts. And we survived. We said, look, we'll manage with whatever we have and hope for the best.
And now you are back to almost pre-COVID levels? Or?
So we are now getting back to pre-COVID levels. Of course, the market is doing well. The demand is strong. The yields are high. We actually, of course, learned a lot during COVID. We learned that you could actually automate many, many things that we should have done a long time back, but COVID allowed us to do it. And you could work as one team, all the airlines together, the government, work as one India in a common objective, and that helps in very many ways. I think all in all, fantastic learnings from COVID.